What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. In today's video, we have more news. More news has arrived on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, there is more stuff to go through, and this involves the treasure map SUGO Fest. So this is going to be beginning on the 16th of September, and it looks like part 2 will begin on the 18th of September. So I assume that the treasure map will begin on the 18th of September, which, let's go ahead. I want to have a look at the calendar, which means that technically it will start on a Thursday for me. It will start on a Wednesday. So pretty interesting start for a treasure map. Typically they don't start at that particular time period, but it is what it is. But here we have the treasure map SUGO Fest. Now this was definitely something a lot of people were interested to see how the structure was going to compared to last treasure map. A lot of people had a lot of complaints with last treasure map, myself included. Was not a fan of the way that they structured that one. Let's have a look in this treasure map, and hopefully they've done it a bit better. But before we get into that, let's actually talk about the new treasure map rare recruit characters that are available in the treasure map SUGO Fest. This is the first of them, being a brand new Corazon. So Corazon is a Psi cerebral shooter. Captain ability, like most treasure map rare recruits, is pretty terrible. 1.5 times attack to Psi characters. Special ability maxes at 12 turns, will reduce crew's lock chain multiplier by 3 turns, reduces all enemies damage reduction, except for threshold, by 3 turns, so that's Rainbow Shield. And it also will drastically reduce all enemies defense for 1 turn, and adds 40 times character's attack on top of tap timing bonus damage for 1 turn. He provides a lot of different utility pieces there. He doesn't look like the character that you would really use too often. I mean, reducing chain lock multiplier, that's okay. He reduces Rainbow Shield by 3 turns. That is pretty good. He will drastically reduce defense, so it's likely to be an 80% defense reduction. That's pretty good. And he does tap timing bonus. So he does 4 separate things on a 12-turn cooldown, and you can use it outside of treasure map. It seems pretty good to me, honestly. He doesn't have any crewmate abilities, which is kind of weird. He does have a support ability, supporting Doflamingo and Law, adds 25 times supported characters attack on top of tap timing bonus damage for 1 turn for slasher and driven characters at the start of the final battle. That is actually a very good support ability. This would be a character that you would want to feed attack cotton candies to enhance the amount of tap timing bonus damage he grants to characters, honestly. Like, that actually looks really good, and that's awesome. And this is the lower tier treasure map rare recruit character, so you're likely to get this guy earlier on in the SUGO Fest. Really, really good stuff, actually. Talking about the Law, though, the Law is definitely the character that a lot of people would like to pull here. He is the harder one to pull. He is a Dex slasher shooter, and his captain ability will boost slashes by 1.5. Special ability, again, 12-turn cooldown, will deal 30 times his attack in Dex damage to a single enemy, and if the enemies that are affected with defense down, greatly boost type effects of normal attacks for 1 turn. So that looks to be a 1.75 times color affinity boost, and boost damage dealt to enemies inflicted with defense down by 1.75 times for 1 turn during a treasure map, and obviously you get varying levels of that magnifier depending on your treasure map level. So the defense down conditional only works on the treasure map, but outside of that you can still get a color affinity boost and damage, and that's about it. So honestly, outside of treasure map you don't really see too many uses for a character like this, but inside the treasure map obviously he is going to be the most ideal character to have. Now the thing that I am really worried about is the fact that when this treasure map SUGO Fest debuted on Japan, this was the debut of Dex Sabo on JP. The thing is, Global already has Dex Sabo, so if you have Dex Sabo, he is the ideal captain to take on treasure map Doflamingo. The only thing is that for us, likely that the Dex Sabo will not be the highest point booster because he's been out for so long. So that's going to make team building a little bit more tricky in terms of trying to get the most points possible, and it's kind of frustrating to build teams, especially with these characters. These characters are going to be high point boosters, but they're not going to really work that well with Sabo because Sabo won't be a high point booster himself. It's just one of those really frustrating things that they've done with Global. I like that we get characters early, but it makes it so frustrating when these treasure maps come out. Very, very frustrating. In terms of his support ability, supports Doflamingo. Once per quest, if the supported character uses a special to place damage reduction on the crew, doubles damage taken and drastically reduces recovery for 1 turn, but locks crew's slots for 2 turns and cancels all attack reducing slot effects for 2 turns. So I believe this is supposed to be used with the treasure map Doflamingo. He has a defense reducing or a damage reducing effect with his special, so this character can support the Doflamingo. He doesn't seem super duper useful as a support unit, but the main reason why you want him is just because for this treasure map, he's going to be good. Outside of that, he doesn't really see much play, quite honestly. I'm not really that impressed by this lore. But let's actually get into the SUGO Fest itself. So, Lore and Corazon are here as new treasure map trusty characters. All new characters will join at max level, of course. What's more, these two characters can be traded for even more training points than usual at the Rayleigh's Bazaar. So, if you do pull a duplicate of Lore or Corazon, you can sell them at the Rayleigh's Bazaar for 5,000 training points. Very, very good, as it enables you to obviously save up points for more legend tickets, which is actually kind of interesting, because if we go over to the Rayleigh's Bazaar, we can actually see that they have actually restocked the bazaar with a brand new SUGO Fest exclusive rare recruit character that will be available during this period of the treasure map, and you will see that all the legends here are available up until August 31st, so I think that includes every single legend in the game. I don't think there was a new legend released in September thus far. I don't think there was. I think because Barto and Cavendish came out before the end of August. I don't remember exactly, but basically every legend will be available in this ticket. Now, on top of them actually restocking the legend ticket, they've actually gone ahead and stocked up the limited rare recruit ticket. So you can spend 30,000 points and you're guaranteed to get a special character or a limited rare recruit character, which can range again from basically any other character that's been released thus far. And also there are rare recruit tickets available for 3,000 points each. I don't recommend buying these because just it's really not worth it. The range of characters you can get from these are crazy. Yes, you still can get reds from them, but the chances are so significantly lowered. I just really would not suggest buying these tickets. But the limited rare recruit ones and the legend ticket, I still think are kind of worth it. Though you got to remember, if you are one of those people that doesn't have a lot of Rayleigh points, and if you're one of those people that kind of struggles to farm up the Super Evolution skulls, I think it's probably a good idea to maybe hold off on buying these legend tickets for now. Anyways, getting back to the SUGO Fest, we're going to continue on here with the structure of the SUGO. Obviously, it's going to be 4-star or better, so there's no silvers in here whatsoever, and just more mumbo-jumbo stuff. But we can see that from part 1, we've got it until the 18th. Part 2 will be here from the 18th to the 20th, and then part 3, 20th to the 22nd. Now, moving on to the structure for part number 1 only. The first pull is guaranteed to be 30 rainbow gems. Discounts are always good. The second multi-pull is guaranteed to be the new Corazon. So I like that they're going back to the second multi-pull for the original treasure map rare recruit character. Thank God for that. Moving on though, the 3rd, the 6th, and the 8th multi-pull last wanted poster is guaranteed to be a SUGO Fest exclusive character. And again, there are rate boosts for each part, so that will also vary. And then the 4th and 5th multi is guaranteed to be a rate boosted character. Okay, so it looks like Lore is not going to be very easy to get. And then 9th multi-pull guaranteed to be the new Lore. Okay, so that's yeah, okay, so they've done that. Alright, so the treasure map rare recruit character Lore, who is likely going to be the highest point booster on the entire map. He's going to be the highest point booster, guaranteed on the 9th multi. I guess that's fair enough. You know, the highest point booster, making him guaranteed on a really low multi, I guess that kind of makes sense. But 9 multis is very, very steep for a character like Lore. I wouldn't suggest you guys to do 9 multis for a character like him. As we just looked at him before, he's not really that great, even outside of treasure maps. So I would suggest maybe not doing 9 multis for this. And then 10 multis, his last wanted poster is guaranteed to be a limited pool SUGO Fest exclusive, max level and max special as well. Pretty cool. And moving on to part 2 and 3 though, it's also discounted on part 2 and 3 for the first multi. The second multi is no longer the guaranteed Corazon. Instead, it will be a guaranteed rate boosted character. 368 is a guaranteed legend. 10th multi is a guaranteed limited pool legend with max level and max special. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty stock standard as we were expecting. I'm very happy now that the treasure map rare recruit character is back down to the second multi. I'm really, really thankful for that. But hopefully the rates for the characters are not too terrible. I remember Jinbei last treasure map, his rates seemed pretty good. I mean, I'm saying that, you know, because I did pull 3 of them. But I am hoping that his rates are still somewhat decent, because before that treasure map, his rates were terrible. For the highest point booster, that is, it was like 0.5% to get him, which is ridiculous. So, you know, it'd be cool if he was, you know, maybe at least 1%. If it was 1% for the highest point booster, that would be awesome. Jinbei last treasure map, I believe, was around 0.7, 0.8. So we'll have to see how that goes. But in terms of the actual rate boosted characters, for part 1, you've got Barto and Cavendish, Charlotte Cracker, which is good to see. You have Dex Sabo obviously being the ideal captain to take on this treasure map. map, but because he's not being the highest point booster, it's going to make it difficult. You also have Wiper DeMarco, V2 Shanks, V2 Doflamingo, and V2 Fujitora. So definitely the first half of that list is really, really good. And then, you know, towards the bottom, it's not as ideal. For part 2, you've got Carrot, Sanji, and Judge, V2 Sanji, V2 Akiji, Luffy and Ace, Zephyr, and Nico Robin. Part 2 seems pretty decent as well. Sanji and Judge and Carrot, even V2 Sanji and Aokiji, Luffy and Ace. Like, there's some good characters there for sure. Very good characters. And Carrot and Sanji and Judge, obviously some of the best legends in the game. And then part 3, you've got V2 Katakuri, Legend Jack, Soul King Brook, V2 Akainu, Capone, V2 Rayleigh, and Shiki. Okay, so part 3, I don't know if you want to wait until part 3 to do pulls. If you're going to be pulling on a treasure map SUGO Fest, you should be pulling part 1. Either way. Part 1 for those boosters is definitely what you should always be going for if you do choose to pull on a treasure map SUGO Fest. And, you know, as I always say, if you are a free-to-play player, there's no reason whatsoever why you guys should be pulling on a treasure map SUGO Fest, unless if it is a 2x Legend Raid SUGO Fest. And the only double Legend Raid SUGO Fest that was on a treasure map was actually Douglas Bullet. So if that ends up being a thing, I'd probably suggest people to pull there, but not this time around. No, it doesn't seem like a very good idea to be pulling on a SUGO Fest like this, but it does seem interesting. I will still be pulling here because obviously I like to get the treasure map rare recruit characters. It makes farming treasure map much easier. So definitely look forward to that whenever this SUGO Fest goes live, of course, on the 16th of September, 1900 PST. Also, along with this, I will upload the treasure map breakdown video over the coming weeks once we get the full boosted list of characters so I can build teams. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.